Now I will present you the second part of my application, which is database and API. I will first show you the type of the data in my database. So there's a collection called users and it has an ID, username and password. There is a collection called restaurants. There is an ID, name, description, image and UID. And there is a collection called dishes in which I have an ID, the name, the description, the price, the image and the restaurant, which is saying in which restaurant this dish is. I have made a change when implementing this project. I have all my images statically inside a folder of my Capstone project, and I'm getting only the name of the image from the database. So I'm just taking this name and I'm putting a dollar in curly brackets, and the other thing is static. When I'm taking this data, I'm doing a loop, and all the dishes and the restaurants, of course, are created. Refactoring from the starter code. So in this part, I have used MongoDB as my database, while the previous project had Strapi. Also, I have made some changes in the structure of the data inside the database, such as saving only the image saving only the name of the image and not the real image. And finally, I have put a specific feature inside every dish which says by which restaurant is this dish created. Regarding the challenges in implementing the database, I had only one challenge, which was just some thoughts on that. I had two options. The first one was to create all the restaurants and inside each restaurant put an array of dishes. And the other one was to create a separate collection for the dishes and just put inside every dish the restaurant by which this dish is created. I selected the second option since that could make my database more understandable and more clear. I'm using RESTful API in this project. I have tested all my requests before using them in the front end from Postman, and I'm using as method post, and these lines of code is a service that I have created called REST that is used for fetching data with a specific body and a specific endpoint. So URL and init inside the fetch are some parameters. So regarding my API endpoints, sign up creates a new user with a given credentials, login tests if a user exists with a given credential, and if exists, it returns back a JWT. Get restaurants checks if a user has a verified token and returns back all the available restaurants. Get dishes again checks if a user is verified and returns back all the dishes based on a specific restaurant ID. The order creates a new order based on the data of the user and the dishes that the user has bought. And checkout Stripe creates a payment intent for the user with specific data, payment amount, and also a client secret. Firstly, I'm connected to the database, and then I'm doing all these actions to check for the data that I want. So now I will quickly show you my API documentation. I'm using Postman to test all my requests, and I did the documentation with Postman. Every request has a short description, and for some of them token is necessary. So this is the authorization bearer token. The first one is sign up. You can also see here the curl version. There's a sign up, the body, and the short description in here. The login, this is the method here. I'm using post for all my methods. A short description in the body row. There's a get restaurant. This is the body. I'm just asking all the restaurants and nothing more. This is the JWT of the user. Get dishes, also this method I'm using here, the UID of the restaurant. The order, which uses also the JWT and some body here, and the checkout Stripe, which uses the stringified data and a short description also to make the payments. So this is the second part of my project API and database.